Right, I'm done. Sorry, I'm cooking food, so just casually listening from the casual what's up. I mean, nothing's up. I just feel like, well, I don't really care to be honest. It's fucking Path of Exile. I just feel like if you call somebody a retard like 7 times, and then mid apology, you then call them a retard another 5 times, it's a bit of a shit way to apologize. Not that it needs an apology. It's a fucking, it's a sextant. I don't care about a sextant. All I said was, I don't know if you read the comment, because the comment made more sense than the video, because the video wasn't meant to be a response. I don't know if you read that. If you're still there, I don't know if he's still there. Yeah, this is basically just what I said. I just said, I hope the podcast has somebody that's against this no sextant notion. I don't really agree with the video entirely. A sextant is an investment and it's got to be noticeable. Otherwise, why would anybody put one on a map? Meaning, yeah, they are costly, they are a bit irritating, but if they're not good, no one's ever going to put them on a map. Sextants allow you for, quote, a price to change the way the atlas works. So if you want to be able to farm like a certain map, you can do that, and it's a single player game. It doesn't hurt anyone. So if I want to change my atlas to be whatever, shape burial grounds, I can sit and farm that, and it doesn't affect anybody. I'm just playing a single player game, and that's that. So it does hinder some new characters. If you want to make a new character, it does, shit on new characters in a way. Like if you sextant block all this left hand side, and then you go to make a new character, well, when leveling or trying to do any elder influence, you can't obviously go to this side. That hinders it, but like GGG haven't hindered that. They haven't put up this blockade that says go and farm and sextant block and don't do the top left of your atlas. It's a personal choice. So you can put a few sextants on, try it out, and if you don't like it, you can just not do it. But if you really like it, you can go fully into it in sextant block and sort of ruin future characters for like the perfect vault experience, which I think is kind of cool because it allows you to have like, yeah, a perfect experience on a map. I mean, for solo self, I'm sure, but trade leagues aren't single player. Well, no, they're not. But what I mean is, by that, obviously they're not single player because there's like a multiplayer economy. But if you say, if TarkeCat is sat farming, I don't know, this map down here shaped whatever the hell it is, let's call it a toll. You're farming shaped a toll, and it turns out like you're having loads of fun. It's not affecting anybody. Not in the same way that, say, a current champion in Dota or League of Legends is broken or overpowered. Like you're stuck facing, you're playing against it every game, and it's making it not fun. You're choosing to like sextant block or not sextant block. The game isn't forcing you to. So you've always got the option to do it or dodge it, unlike a proper online game. Like say there's a gun that's overpowered in Call of Duty, everyone's going to use it, and then your experience is going to be a lot shitter because, well, you're facing off against it every single time. So I don't really care about sextants. Delete them, keep them, don't bother me. I was just saying, like, if somebody's on the podcast, I hope if I listen to it that there's an alternate viewpoint given, because otherwise I don't like listening to discussions where everybody just agrees with each other, because it's not very interesting. I like to hear like the guy playing devil's advocate, like even if he doesn't agree fully with those points, because some of these points I'm not fully agreed upon. I do think sextants are retarded, but I think somebody has to play devil's advocate, otherwise discussion is just a bit bland. So I was just saying I hope on the podcast someone does that. That's it. But apparently that makes me retarded, so I don't know. I just think basically the TLDR is like there's this notion at the moment in Path of Exile where people are like, you can't make money if you don't sextant block. That's like, maybe you're not saying it, or maybe the top streamers aren't, but it gets passed down through Reddit threads and stuff like that. And it's like you obviously can make money without sextant blocking. You can still really enjoy Path of Exile without sextant blocking. Whereas it seems like at the moment there's a topic where like they're the worst thing ever. But they're not really. You can just completely ignore them. I think there's more annoying problems. Like Guardians having terrible FPS when you load them in. That's more annoying. I feel like a casual's going to get more annoyed that the game lags to shit than they are dealing with a sextant. If you're not playing competitively, sure. I'm taking this league super casual because I played Turmoil and Mayhem. So hard pushing top 10 ladder. That's why I was calling you retarded for misrepresented my view. If you're not playing competitively, sure. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying like someone needs to do the opposite viewpoint, because I'll be honest, I don't really watch Bay Class, not because I dislike the people on it. I just don't really like watching gaming podcasts. But most people that are going to watch a gaming podcast and are going to be on a gamer podcast are going to be the 1%, right? Like naturally. The type of person that also plays a game so much that he enjoys it, that then goes through Reddit, through YouTube, and even past YouTube, and then starts watching live content. And then not even just watching live content, live podcast content about game balance. Like that's a very like niche crowd that's obviously gonna be a kind of echo chamber to what you're thinking. I don't feel like if you just pulled off the average Joe off Xbox Path of Exile and was like, are sextants ruining your experience? I don't really think they'd say what they are, because they don't probably even use them. They don't even know what they are. So I was just saying, like, the podcast is obviously like a super hardcore ladder pushing team. Like you've had teams that have raced, right? I remember you got like rank 100 first with your team. So obviously like if you're doing that, you're going to have to sextant block. So in your case, yeah, it's fucking annoying that every time you want to race to 100, you can't just do all the maps you like. There'll be one top map and there'll be one sextant strategy linked with that map that will be the best. But unfortunately, if you are playing competitively, you've got to do shit that isn't fun to win. That's just the nature of competition. Like in League of Legends, there are certain characters that are super boring to play, but you've got to play them, or you're just disadvantaging yourself or putting yourself at a disadvantage. Nah, I feel you, and we will have to push devil's advocate hard this show. I mean, that's great, but, you know, now the general opinion is I'm a fucking retard. So, you know, I don't know. It's up to you, but yeah. I just don't feel like my point was that dumb. Maybe it was. I haven't rewatched my own videos. Maybe I rewatch it and think, yeah, that was a bit blasé, that was a bit obvious. But I just feel like if you're doing like pushing, like I've played Path of Exile for thousands of hours. I've got people that I've spoke to in stream for like, you know, months and months and months since I've been streaming, and no one ever gets to 100. It's such a unique crowd that they're obviously going to have strong opinions about stuff that influences XP. So I was just thinking, I hope there's a devil's advocate, but I mean, that's it. I don't care about the balance of Path of Exile. Like, it's whatever. But I don't think it makes me retarded to think that. Maybe, I don't know. Without context, I responded extremely with what you're saying. Now I 100% get where you're coming from. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's really shit. It's a really hard thing to Because I'm sure you've sat and made a YouTube video, you've like sat down, you've put on your mic, and then you've got this thing that you want to say, and then as you're saying it, you get completely distracted. Like that video was meant to be about Magic Find and how I'm sort of enjoying it more than I thought I would. But then I thought, as I was like talking, I thought about Sextants because I was doing a shaped fault. So I was like, maybe I should talk about Sextants. And then you drift off into this like tangent. But it's really hard to like actually discuss via Twitch chat when everyone's like atting you, calling you a retard. But I'm just saying, like, the super race crowd, I feel like they're a little bit out of touch with just how average people play the game. Like, I've had people come in tonight and been like, yeah, I've quit the league, I'm not really having much luck. They're not worried about Sextants, they just like, they play like 100 maps and then they're done. And then they'll go back to playing whatever. I've literally had the exact same happen to me in the past with pub. I mean, like I say, I don't really give a shit. I get negative comments all the time because I always give the different viewpoint and I intentionally do that. So people will come in and they'll say, oh, you're dumb. But, yeah, I was just putting it out there. I don't really have anything too much else to say. It was just someone should play devil's advocate. So I gave like a really extreme blasé devil's advocate point or points. And then you've obviously watched it and then thought, God, this guy's like a complete moron. And then told everybody I'm a complete moron. Which is cool, whatever. But, you know. Yeah, I don't really have anything much to say. I'm not going to get in an argument about Sextants at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is, 2 o'clock. Alright, man.